The African rodent was responsible for the 2003 outbreak of monkeypox in the US. All of the 71 reported monkeypox cases were traced back to the Gambian pouch rats, imported from Ghana by an exotic pet distributor.
What's this story, people? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm coming to Miami, Florida. It's confirmed. I had to fill in my immigration form yesterday. It's an ESTA. You fill in if you're flying from Europe to America. I'm approved, so I'm gonna come to, I cannot wait because I'm coming to Miami. I said, let me check out the most invasive species in Miami. Miami's gonna be hot. I can't wait to see the snakes, the alligators, the crocodiles. I can't wait. But yeah, let's see what I'm gonna expect over there. Let's go.
Number 8. Nile crocodile. Even though they aren't an established species, the mere idea of Nile crocodiles calling Florida their home is terrifying. In the past,
Wait. Do you guys casually see all these crocodiles, like, randomly in like random swamps near your house? Like, my biggest fear is I'm going for a jog and I'm looking to a river beside me and I see a croc. Do you know, you never see that happening in the UK. You never see a snake in Miami, casually. Oh God.
several were found in the state's south, but they'd most likely escaped captivity and weren't considered evidence of an invasive process. Even so, Florida officials were given the green light to shoot any Nile crocodiles on sight, to eliminate any chance they might have of reproducing. That's because these creatures are among the most dangerous predators in the animal kingdom. They're massive crocodilians with heavily armored skin, which are second in size only to saltwater crocodiles. There have been reports of some over 16.5 feet in length.
I didn't even know they're different. I thought there was just one crocodile. I never knew there was Nile crocodiles. There's green Oh God. How do you guys survive? How?
And 1,650 pounds in weight, with an extremely powerful bite. And once their jaws grip you, it's almost impossible to escape. They can apply high levels of force for an extended period of time, which is useful in their native environment when they're drowning large prey. In Africa, these highly aggressive animals have earned a reputation as man-eaters, and they're responsible for hundreds of human fatalities every year. Their fearsome reputation dwarfs that of the American alligator, which would arguably be inferior to Nile crocodiles should the two ever compete for food. Number 7. New Guinea flatworm.
What is that?
Much like their name implies, this flatworm species is native to the island of New Guinea. They've been observed preying on earthworms, land snails, slugs, and other invertebrates. In Florida, New Guinea flatworms were first observed in Miami-Dade County in 2012. Since then, reports have been coming in from over 40 counties. As an invasive species, the New Guinea flatworm has reduced the Hawaiian tree snail population in Oahu, and is a
Sorry, but how did they get to Miami from New Guinea? How?
known land snail predator in Japan. In Florida, it can consume threatened or endangered snail species. The flatworm is also a carrier for the rat lungworm parasite, which can be transmitted to people via ingestion. However, so far, there haven't been any confirmed reports of rat lungworm infection in Florida's human population. Number 6. Argentine black and white tegu. The Argentine black and white tegu is a large lizard native to South America, found in Brazil, northern Argentina, Paraguay, and eastern Uruguay. Reproducing tegu populations are established in Florida, mainly in Miami-Dade and Hillsborough counties, but reported sightings have been coming in from other counties as well. Like other animals on our list, their introduction.
Right. I'm staying in somewhere near Miami Beach. Should I be expecting all of this stuff? What is that? Look at that devil. How do you guys survive in Miami? I see videos of people wrestling crocodiles, wrestling. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. Oh, what's his name? He literally goes and poke on animals like snakes. Oh, what's his name? Something Garrett. Something Garrett on Instagram. He literally finds snakes and just poke them. He's just messing around with them. Snakes, alligators, crocodiles. I'm like, and he's barefooted most of the time. Americans, you guys are built different.
In the wild was a consequence of the ever-booming pet trade which takes place in the state. Tegus can reach almost 4 feet in total length and weigh close to 10 pounds. On average, females lay about 36 eggs each year. Once hatched, they grow rapidly and can live up to 20 years. As adults, these creatures have few natural predators. Tegus are omnivorous lizards that consume insects, fruits, eggs, and small animals such as rodents and reptiles. They're a threat to local wildlife due to their habits of preying upon the nests of other animals. They're known to eat young gopher tortoises, animals which are considered threatened. They also eat agriculturally valuable foods, and according to recent evidence, their population seems to be expanding. Number 5. Giant toad. This invasive amphibian secretes a potent toxin as a defensive mechanism against predators. The giant toad, also known as the cane toad, can grow to be 6 to 9 inches in length. First introduced to Florida in the 1930s and 1940s as a means of controlling agricultural pests. They breed year-round in standing water, canals, ditches, and streams. Currently, breeding populations are found in Central and South Florida. Giant toads secrete a milky white toxin from glands.
I feel like that's cute. I'm not gonna be afraid of that unless it's got some poisonous spit, venom. But it doesn't look too scary. Come on, it's a toad. I can outrun a toad. Come on, almost everyone can outrun a toad, I think.
Which are located behind their ears. They can sicken and even kill domestic pets and native animals that bite on them. For people who handle these toads, their secretions may irritate the skin or burn the eyes. Number 4. Nile monitor. Nile monitors are among the largest lizards in Africa, reaching over 7 feet and weights in excess of 33 pounds. Monitor lizards have strong legs, muscular bodies, and powerful jaws. Their sharp claws are used for digging, climbing, or tearing at their prey. They're an invasive species in Florida, with the most concentrated population located in Cape Coral in Lee County. They tend to inhabit water edges, and their spread is facilitated by South Florida's extensive canal system. Monitor lizards negatively impact the areas they inhabit due to a combination of factors. They have a generalist diet, a high reproduction rate, and travel both in fresh and salt water. In Africa, they're known to raid crocodile nests, eat eggs, and prey on small crocodiles. This can affect Florida's indigenous crocodiles, such as the American alligator and the American crocodile.
Stop. Why are you messing with the crocodile, alligator, whatever you want to call it? Look, the geese is putting his hand in the alligator's mouth. Look at this.
Indigenous crocodile.
Why? There's no good reason to do that. Why? There's more chance of you getting bitten than you not getting bitten, I think. All it takes is... Now you're going to go around like this. Then you become that guy. Oh, have you seen 3-finger Steve? 2-finger Steve? 2-finger Joe?
Such as the American alligator and the American crocodile. In Cape Coral, the lizards have been connected to the disappearances of livestock and domestic pets. Since their diet is so broad, it means that federally protected species such as sea turtles, gopher tortoises, or wading birds are also in danger. Number 3. Lionfish. The first reports of invasive lionfish came in 1985 off Florida's Atlantic coast near Dania Beach. The exact circumstances of their introduction aren't clear, but it's suspected that they were discarded from aquariums. As of 2010, they began turning up in areas where no lionfish had previously been recorded, such as the northern Gulf of New Mexico. As a predatory reef fish, this creature can reduce important native fish populations, such as herbivorous species that keep the algae levels in check. In fact, the lionfish is considered the greatest threat to coral reefs in the region and could be reducing Atlantic reef diversity by up to 80%. Lionfish, which are usually 12 to 15 inches in length, tend to be larger in areas where they aren't indigenous, exceeding 18 inches. They also have venomous spines on their fins, which can cause you painful injuries if the fish aren't handled properly. Number 2. Gambian pouched rat. With lengths of up to 3 feet from head to tail, the Gambian pouched rat is one of the largest rat species in the world, and it enjoys a wide distribution in sub-Saharan Africa. The species' common name was inspired by its habit of storing food in its cheek pouches. In Florida, the rats were introduced through the pet trade, and some were bred in captivity on grassy keys. Then at some point, several rats either escaped or were released on purpose and established a breeding population in the area. As an invasive species, the Gambian pouched rat is of high concern. Females can produce litters up to 5 times over the course of 9 months, and each litter features an average of 4 young. So far, the rats have been contained to grassy keys, but should they reach mainland, they might pose a threat to the agricultural industry in the south of Florida. Native rat species such as the Key Largo wood rat, the silver rice rat, or the cotton rat might.
Do you know what's crazy? When I was younger, my favorite animal was a hamster. I know hamster kind of look a tiny bit like rats, I think, but I used to love hamsters. Like, that was the only pet I didn't mind having. Hamsters and goldfish. I wanted the goldfish so bad. But yeah, let me know. Does anyone else like hamsters? Comment down below. Let me know. Hamsters or bunny? Hamsters same as a bunny, aren't they? Is a bunny and hamster the same thing? I think so. Sorry, my brain is fried right now. Sorry.
Also suffer because the invasive species is larger than them and may outcompete them for food. There are also several health concerns. The African rodent was responsible for the 2003 outbreak of monkeypox in the US. All of the 71 reported monkeypox cases were traced back to the Gambian pouch rats, imported from Ghana by an exotic pet distributor. The suspicion is that the rats, which are known carriers, had spread it to prairie dogs, which were then purchased as pets. The infectious disease has a 10% risk of death, and in the aftermath of the outbreak, the importation of Gambian pouched rats was banned. Fortunately, no deaths were recorded, but patients did experience fever, muscle aches, headaches, and rashes. Number 1. Hybrid snakes. Burmese pythons are giant constrictor snakes that can reach over 15 feet in length. Because of their size, they face few predators, with the exceptions of humans and alligators. Over the course of a decade, starting from 2001, scientists have examined the tissue from 400 invasive Burmese pythons captured in Florida's Everglades. It's worth mentioning that pythons have been breeding in the area ever since the 1980s, with a devastating impact on the local small mammal population. When they were analyzed from a genetic perspective, 13 of them were discovered to have been a crossbreed between the Burmese python and the Indian rock python. The latter is smaller, faster, and arguably more aggressive than the Burmese python and tends to prefer a higher and...
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, when I go to the Everglades, I can't wait to see them. But one of my biggest fears is falling in the river, not knowing what's inside that muddy Everglade. And you see some people actually go walking around in this Everglades just looking for snakes. I think there's a snake that you're allowed to kill. I can't remember what's called now. If you guys watch The Outdoor Boys, it's a lovely channel. It's not posting a lot of views anymore. But there was a video he posted where it was actually just going around killing the snakes. It was The Outdoor Boys. I think it was them, yeah. They literally go around. They went to Miami. You're allowed to kill some snakes because they're just way too much of them. Let me know. I could be wrong, but let me know. Let me know down below if that's still going on.
Dry environment. The interbreeding most likely took place before the snakes became established in South Florida. The discovery is worrisome because the hybrid species displays signs of increased adaptability, both in dry and wet habitats. This is due to something called hybrid vigor, which occurs when the best traits of the interbreeding species have been passed on to their offspring. In this case, it might mean that these invasive pythons will exhibit a broader and faster distribution. This doesn't bode well for Florida's wildlife officials, who've already faced difficulties in eliminating the snakes from the Everglades region. There are close to 150,000 pythons wreaking havoc on native species such as bobcats, foxes, raccoons, and rabbits. In this context, the threat of a super adaptable python spreading through Florida is most definitely cause for concern. Thanks for watching.
That was scary. 150,000 snakes in one city. 150,000. So if I was to go into the Everglades within like 5 minutes, I'll probably see a snake. Let me know. How often do you guys see snakes in Miami? Let me know. Like, is it something that, No, there's a snake in my backyard. Did they come to like residential areas as well? Or do you have to actually go into the forest to find them? Sorry, this is just so alien to me because we don't have all this stuff here. Bobcats, all that shit. We don't have it over here. But yeah, I can't wait to come down and see this live. Hopefully, they're not too close to me. I'm in a big, massive boat. A massive. I got binoculars looking down at the snakes and the crocodiles. Let me know what other videos you guys want to check out. I can't wait to check them out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.